Iran rejects Trump's 15-point ceasefire proposal, issues own demands while U.S. deploys 82nd Airborne just to keep things civil. In a stunning development that shocked absolutely no one with a functioning brain, Iran has flatly rejected President Trump's 15-point ceasefire proposal, calling the whole thing illogical and not even happening, while simultaneously launching more drones at Israel and accidentally setting a Kuwait airport fuel tank on fire because apparently precision is for infidels. According to Iranian state media, which has the credibility of a used car salesman on his third divorce, Tehran isn't even talking to the Americans. "We do not accept a ceasefire with those who violate agreements," an unnamed senior official told Fars News, right before demanding reparations, sanctions relief, formal U.S. recognition of Iran's sacred right to choke the Strait of Hormuz, and probably a lifetime supply of enriched uranium as a participation trophy. Trump, meanwhile, continues to insist that talks are going very, very well and that the Iranians desperately want to make a deal. Sources close to the White House say the president is optimistic because, in his words, they haven't said no in all caps yet. To underscore America's unwavering commitment to peaceful dialogue, the Pentagon announced the deployment of at least 1,000 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division, along with thousands of Marines already steaming toward the region. Military officials described the move as a polite airborne reminder that negotiations work best when backed by several thousand highly trained guys who can jump out of planes and seize key oil hubs if the conversation gets awkward. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Chad Skip McFreedom told reporters, "Look, we're all for diplomacy. But sometimes the best way to de-escalate is to show up with enough firepower to remind everyone that peace is a two-way street. And one of those ways involves parachute insertions." Iran's counterproposal, delivered via the ancient and highly reliable method of state television yelling, reportedly includes 5 points of its own. 1. Stop bombing us, for now. 2. Pay us for all the centrifuges we definitely weren't using for peaceful medical isotopes. 3. Let us keep controlling the Strait of Hormuz because global shipping is just a suggestion anyway. 4. A formal apology for existing in the same hemisphere. 5. And, of course, the immediate release of all frozen assets so the regime can fund more protests against the regime. Experts in Washington describe the Iranian demands as maximalist, delusional, and exactly what you'd expect from a theocracy whose idea of economic reform is death to America on a budget. At press time, Trump was reportedly telling aides that the Iranians are tough negotiators and that the 82nd Airborne is simply there to provide security for the peace process. Sources say the paratroopers have been instructed to smile warmly and only chamber rounds if someone starts chanting death to America too enthusiastically. In related news, global oil prices did a little interpretive dance. The UN issued its 47th strongly worded letter that everyone ignored, and analysts predicted this cycle of talk fight could continue right up until someone accidentally wins the war. Classic Middle East peace, because nothing says let's hug it out like sending in the Screaming Eagles while the other side practices their drone delivery service.